It probably was about 10 to 12 years ago that I first articulated that publicly. The right of the child to the marriage of his biological parents. And it's actually, when you unpack it, it makes lots of sense. But we become so used to broken familyness that even stating that, look, every child ever born and ever to be born, universally, always, through all time, has the right to the marriage of the man and woman who brought him or her into existence. That holds for everyone. Now, will that right always be upheld? No. Can it always be upheld? No. But is it present? Yes. And when it's violated, it's a serious violation of a fundamental universal human right of every child. And the big violators are the parents. They're
Okay.
violators of fundamental human rights.
What about all of those situations, like cases of rape or cases where the parents aren't married and maybe he seems abusive or she would be like not emotionally ready? Like all the hard cases that come to mind. How do you respond to those? Because if the children have a right to this marriage, what does that mean in those situations?
Well, human rights are violated all the time.
Hmm.
Family rights are violated all the time by husbands of their wives, by wives of their husbands. And these are essentially, those violations also are sins. Like they go hand,
Yes.
every serious violation is a sin. So the right of the child cannot always be upheld. You take the case of rape.
Hmm.
Clearly there, the child has a right to life, and the good mother will bring the child to birth, but she is under no obligation to marry the man, even though that child has the right to that marriage. But you can see almost immediately, but in this case, that never can be.
So it's not like a right that supersedes like the child's right to just be in a safe home. It's or like in a sense like his right to life.
No, it
It's
does. It supersedes that, but common sense kicks in. It's a you see, the fundamental universal human rights cannot be superseded,
okay.
or they're not universal and they're not fundamental.
But
And
in that
this
case,
is
why would it be moral for the woman not to marry the rapist?
because of it's now a call of prudence, and the safety and good of the child requires the mother to protect her child from this man and to
Okay.
protect her. And that's basic common sense.
Yeah.
Sure, that the very notion of rape
Hmm.
is a massive violation of the mother, and
So
in turn, derivatively, a massive violation of the child.
so in a sense the violation has already occurred and
Yes,
now you're trying to help the child grow up in a safe, loving home.
yes. You're now
Okay.
dealing with the realities that have confronted. You can get other cases. Um,
Mhm.
you know, two teenagers, young teens, get sexually involved, a one night stand, and there's a baby there. Now, they ought to be able to deliver their marriage to their child. But anybody looking at this case is saying, this is not going to happen. It's not good here. So this is where the child's right cannot be fulfilled.
So are you saying that the child has a right to be conceived within marriage?
Exactly.
Okay, that's the difference. That's where I was getting stuck because it seemed like you were saying it. I was taking it as once the child's conceived, the parents should get married. But it makes sense when you say that the child's conception itself should happen within marriage.
Exactly.